another day to bring you what's making headlines. A very good evening to you. My name is Patricia Lukoma. Gulu Mohammed is with us on sign language. Into the bulletin, President Yoweri Museveni has won a global award as one of the African leaders who strived to contain COVID-19. The president and the 12 other individuals who played different roles in the fight against COVID-19 will be honored during the first international post-COVID conference in Canada.
Catastrophe, the one you have never seen.
Now, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has lauded United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, for its continued support to the Ministry of Education's Nehemiah initiative, which is a school's greening project. Mrs. Museveni said this when welcoming the new UNDP resident representative for Uganda.
The Nehemiah Schools Greening Project, an initiative by the First Lady, was launched last year at the function in Teriet Kapchora district. Its main objective is to support live fencing of seed secondary schools whose land boundaries are not properly demarcated, exposing them to the risk of encroachment. It also aims at enhancing greening of school campuses, particularly through planting of green hedges around the schools and trees in the school compounds. The project will also help create environmental awareness and stewardship among students and other education sector holders and promote the use of energy-efficient technologies in schools.
Uganda is green really most of the year, but it's a shame that our schools where our children are learning, who should be learning how to protect the environment, are the areas where we don't have that much greenery. We don't have trees, we don't have flowers. When I was growing up, we used to have a lot of flowers in school gardens. And when schools opened, we would have a week or so to do the gardening, to ensure the flowers are taken care of properly, and the schools would look beautiful again.
Both the Ministry of Education and UNDP will therefore be proud when the Greening Schools project is successful, because the schools will be transformed and look much better than they do right now. The First Lady thanked UNDP for the work done so far and called for more coordination with the Ministry of Education and other stakeholders, including the Ministry of Water and Environment and National Forest Authority, to ensure success of the project.
We need to write out what you have already done, and then we go to these areas, we introduce our project, we do some planting on that day, we talk to the teachers, to the parents who would be invited to the schools, and we make sure that everybody is part of this project.
The UNDP country representative, Nwani Wand, reported that UNDP has continued to implement the project and it approved the work plan.
We have continued to implement the project. We have approved $254,200 for the establishment of these 3 nurseries. And we also have set aside some money, $4,000, for monitoring to ensure that that the work that is agreed on is being done. So $245,413 has already been committed to establishing 3 nurseries in 28 schools. Wow. We're hoping that each 3 nursery will have a minimum of 20,000 seedlings. And we also want they will build the capacity of those schools to sustain the production of the seedlings.
She noted that service providers were procured to establish nucleus tree nursery beds in 15 schools. So far, nurseries of 25,000 seedlings each have been established in Bubolo Girls School, Mbale SS, Nabowa SS, Bukoli College Bujiri, and Nabumali College. Reporting for UBC, Pagma William.
Now, we would like to apologize. Our very top story that we give you was about media center and post-COVID. And of course, right now we go back into the presidential press unit and we read President Museveni has today chaired a virtual meeting of the African Union Peace and Security Council heads of state and government at State Lodge, Nakasero. President Museveni is the current chairperson of the African Union Peace and Security Council for the month of June 2024. During the meeting, the leaders discussed the ongoing conflict in Sudan and explored ways to enhance coordinated efforts among regional and international partners to achieve peace and stability for Sudanese people. President Museveni revealed that the war in Sudan was caused by ideological mistakes by the country's leaders. The president highlighted mistake number 2 as using force and arms instead of using dialogue. Moussa Faki Mahamat, the chairperson of the African Union Commission, informed the meeting that as leaders, they must do all it takes to ensure that ceasefire is realized in Sudan. Mahamat also commended President Museveni for his efforts in facilitating the peace process in Sudan. The IGAD Executive Secretary, His Excellency Dr. Wakne Gebeheu, also briefed the meeting on the need for coordinated peace efforts among partners and friends of Sudan. Dr. Mohamed Ibn Chambers, chairperson of the African Union High-Level Panel on Sudan, said the conflict in Sudan is worse than that in Ukraine and Gaza. On the other hand, the leaders demanded that warning parties, namely the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, and the Sudanese Armed Forces, SAF, immediately should stop the fighting and prioritize the interests of Sudan and its people. And now back to Media Center. President Yoweri Museveni has won a global award as one of the African leaders who strive to contain COVID-19. The president and 12 other individuals who played different roles in the fight against COVID-19 will be honored during the first International Post-COVID Conference in Canada.
COVID-19 pandemic has been described as one of the biggest health disasters the world has faced.
I had never seen in my life, I've been a doctor for 22 years now, I'd never seen a disease which makes people require supplemental oxygen like COVID-19.
According to the United Nations World Population Prospects 2022, the COVID-19 pandemic claimed 61 million people globally. On the African continent, Uganda is one of the countries that have been recognized for having contained the COVID-19 pandemic with 3,630 deaths registered. Now, President Yoweri Museveni has won global recognition as one of the African leaders who strived to contain COVID-19 and will receive a global award during the first International Post-COVID-19 Conference to be held in Canada from 11th to 13th July this year.
The Fountain of Honor
His Excellency the President will be awarded at a global platform. To acknowledge his distinguished leadership, dedication in fight against the COVID-19 pandemic, and to recognize his significant role he played to lead Ugandans that required high-level visionary and decision. To recognize Uganda as a role model for pandemic containment in Africa.
There are other 12 nominees from the health sector, academia, and the business community.
Honorable Dr. Monica Musenero Masanza, the Minister of Science, for Science, Technology, and Innovation. Dr. Musenero served as a senior presidential advisor on epidemics, providing expertise to the government of Uganda. Is Honorable Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng, Minister of Health, for the committed engagement throughout the COVID-19 battle and building resilient healthcare system.
The first international post-COVID-19 conference will run on the theme evaluating the impact of COVID-19 on humanity, building synergies and resilience for future global shocks.
We want to close all the gaps which these experts like ours here have identified in the fight against such a crisis in the future, especially bridging the two global spheres, the North and the South. Because in most cases, the North tend to be a bit more advanced in the technology, like I will mention, but somehow, somewhere, they become Maiza, Bakodo.
Adia Nakuti, UBC.
Thank you very much there, Diana Kuti. Now, Nyendo Mukungwe, Member of Parliament, Matthias Mpuga Nsamba, has urged fellow political leaders to work together and stop clashing, emphasizing that his service has not been for someone who is righteous, but one who is bound to make mistakes. While speaking during his Thanksgiving Mass at Kitovu Arena in Masaka, Mpuga said he had learned a lot in his journey of service and apologized for the mistakes he has made, promising never to repeat them.
Thousands of people gathered at Kitovu Arena grounds in Masaka to participate in the Thanksgiving Mass and ceremony organized by Nyendo Mukungwe, Member of Parliament Matthias Mpuga Nsamba. Among the visitors were his fellow commissioners, who are being accused of giving themselves money in the name of service awards.
byebyo byennyini bye bituleetera obuzibu kubanga abakulu baffe tubayisizaamu amaaso.
Bagiire bayogera ebintu, Mpuga yayiba, Mpuga yabba, ebajeti ndala eyo neyagabira ba speaker motoka demwabo nene buli yali speaker nga n'okulini president wange President Museveni yena yafuna emotoka okwo ku bajeti ndala eyo.
Medad Lubega Segona, legislator in the 11th Parliament, said, as leaders, they believe and appreciate the integrity and service of Matthias Mpuga to the people, which were critical in changing the political scene of Uganda. He also shed some light on the contentious service award.
Kituufu okugamba nti ababaka ba Parliament abatula mu commission batuula ne beegabira ssente, kituufu baleeta ekiteeso. Bwe gubanga musango ffenna gwatusinga nga Parliament eyawamu. Bwe kiba kibonerezo kigende eri buli mubaka wa Parliament eyayisa budget eyo.
Mr. Mpuga did not comment on the 500 million shilling service award, but said, going forward, he will pay attention to what people do rather than what they say.
Amazima gategeereka mangu. Nti bano bajja kulinda nnyo, sigenda kwetamwa, sigenda bivaako era sigenda koowa. Bwe bakuwa olukusa oluyingira n'olufuluma, faamu embeera eyo tugiyiseemu era teri kipya, wabula ku mulundi guno tuyize ensobi ze tuddiŋŋanye tetugenda kuziddamu. Tunoonya obumu bw'Abannayuganda bonna abawulira nti waliwo ebiziŋŋamye, waliwo okweyisaawo, waliwo okwetona amaganzi.
He expressed the need for people to participate in elections where there are electoral reforms.
Bannayuganda basanyufu ku nnonda y'abakulembeze baabwe, bannansi n'ebyenfuna basobola okulera obunene bwa paalamenti. Ebimu ku birowoozo byange biri nti paalamenti nnene nnyo, tugyetaaga munene bwayo. Ne bwe mba nga nze omu ku bafulumye naye neeweereza eggwanga. Naye ebirowoozo ebyetaaga okuwuliziganya nanga buli omu mwesimbu eri munne ng'abakulembeze betuli mu paalamenti.
Representing the Katikiro of Buganda at the function was Robert Wagwansibirwa, Deputy Katikiro.
Mungi okunyomagana, okuyombagana, okuvumagana, okwerangira n'ebiringa ebyo. Nkubiriza bannabyabufuzi okubeera abakkakkamu, okusangamu ekitiibwa, okuwulizinganya ate n'okusonyiwagana.
The Thanksgiving Mass was led by Monsignor John Baptist Sebaiga of Masaka Catholic Diocese.
Bwe tubeera n'okwagala okutuufu bulijjo, bwe tuyinza okusonyiwa bannaffe.
The function was attended by other Buganda leaders who gave Mpuga a spear, shield and stick. I'm Nafka Farida and Gloria Gwitabinji in Masaka.
Now, still in politics, Member of Parliament for Igaro West, Michael Mawanda Wasiki County Legislator, Paul Akamba and other complices have been charged with corruption and diverting public resources offences by the Anti-Corruption Court and remanded to Luzira Prison. Meanwhile, the same court has committed Paul Akamba to High Court for trial on offences of corruption.
Members of Parliament who have been arraigned in the Anti-Corruption Court on charges of corruption and diverting government resources include the Igara East Member of Parliament and also Chairperson Disciplinary Committee of the Patriotic League of Uganda, Michael Mawanda, Busiki County Member of Parliament, Paula Kamba, Elgon County Member of Parliament, Ignatius Mudimi, and Advocate Julius Chiriataita Nkoko. Court charged them with 5 counts, among them corruption and diverting public resources. The charge sheet also shows that Mr. Mawanda diverted 1 billion and 50 million shillings that was made to compensate war victims through Buyaka Growers Cooperative Society in Bulamboli District.
Honorable Mawanda Michael Maranga, in the month of October 2021 in Kampala, at Kampala District, converted public funds amounting to Uganda shillings 1 billion 50 million for purposes related to that for which the resources were intended, to wit, war loss compensation by the government of Uganda.
Prosecution also alleges that Busiki Member of Parliament Paula Kamba diverted 200 million shillings made for war victims as compensation. Elgon County Member of Parliament Ignatius Mudimi is alleged to have embezzled 2.391 billion, and an advocate Julius Chiriataita Nkoko is accused of 2.280 million from the government of Uganda.
23 conspired to defraud the government of Uganda shillings 3 billion 448 million 714,611, which was intended for war loss compensation Yaka Growers Cooperative Society Limited.
The offences against the accused were committed between 2019 and 2023, and the accuser pleaded not guilty, although prosecution informed court that investigations are almost complete.
That the accused persons be remanded for 14 clear days, and court has the discretion to guide us on the hearing date.
Before being charged, Member of Parliament Paula Kamba was first committed to High Court on charges of corruption.
In the events, it would only be right and prudent for this court at this stage to cancel the bail that it granted aid to, so he can equally apply for bail before the High Court.
Akamba now joins members of Parliament Yusufu Mutembula and Sisi Namuju, who were committed to High Court of recent. Although the Principal Cooperative Office of Ministry of Trade and Industry, Kavondla Leonard, was not in court, he is also accused of allegedly diverting 3.448 billion shillings meant for Yaka Growers Cooperative Society Limited. The accused's legal team, led by the former Deputy Attorney General, Mwanafunzi, Utana, asked court for more time to interact with their clients, after which they will apply for bail for the accused persons. Magistrate Yoweri Asiro remanded the legislators to Luzila Government Prison until 9th July 2024 for mention of the case. Prosecution was represented by Jonathan Mwaganya, Edward Muhumuza, among others. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Now, away from court, the government chief whip, Hamson Obua, has clarified on the vacant positions for leadership in the sectoral committees of Parliament. Obua says the move to request members to express interests in the positions of chairperson is based on the NRM principle of rotation adopted in the 2021 NRM caucus resolutions.
On Wednesday, the government chief whip Hamson Obua designated members on different sectoral committees of Parliament.
Pursuant to Rule 1510C, Rule 187 and Rule 188.
But most committees remained having vacant leaders assigned to the role of chairperson. Mr. Obua explains why.
Under our rules of procedure, you can designate any time of the session, whether at the start, in the middle, or even towards the end, as long as it falls within that particular session.
The government chief whip has written to the MPs subscribing to both the NRM and independent ones to show interest in the vacant positions.
This particular process will take 14 days, those are 2 weeks. Then after that, the approval process is done by the Central Executive Committee.
Obua refutes double standards as some committees were availed with chairpersons, yet others have to go through the internal party process.
If there is any leader in a sectoral committee that retained his or her portfolio as either chairperson or deputy chairperson, then that implies that particular leader had led less than 2 years. Those that are affected are those who had led for 2 years and above.
The government chief whip has reiterated the 2021 NRM caucus resolutions, which introduced the principle of rotation in relation to the leadership of the parliamentary committees.
As you know, the NRM is a mass party. That is why SEC, in its own wisdom, thought it wise that however excellent you may be, there is need for us to rotate such that we nurture and also groom other members to take leadership of the respective committees.
As of Friday, a number of leaders had showed interest in the vacant positions. Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
Now over to Lubiji. The officer in charge of monitoring and enforcement at the Ministry of Water and Environment, Wilberforce Wanyama, has clarified on why they decided to halt the evictions of the police structure at Lubiji. Wanyama says the police is of public benefit in terms of security, and they are now working with police to ensure that they are given a compliance certificate.
Lubiji Police Post is one of the structures that had been marked for demolition in the Gazette wetland of Lubiji under the Lubiji wetland restoration exercise. However, after review of its importance, the demolition of the police post has been halted.
The truth is, this police station, it is in a wetland. But when you look at why it was constructed there, it was purely for security reasons.
According to the officer in charge of monitoring and enforcement at the Ministry of Water and Environment, Wilberforce Wanyama, the demolition of the police station was halted to avoid compromising the security of the people around Lubiji.
This place was very deadly for people to pass here. So they put up that temporary structure for security reasons.
He says reviews are ongoing to ensure that the police post is given a certificate of operation rather than demolishing it.
But we are trying to review whether we can also go into the process of getting approvals at a later stage, like any other place people you have seen here that got those approvals. So the issues of police, there is on an individual basis who is personally benefiting, but it is a universal benefit. People are benefiting because of that police being there.
The police post was initially a makeshift structure but was given a facelift by Stabex to enhance its capacity following the increase in crime around Lubiji. However, the eviction exercise was continued in the areas of Nabweru.
Chewunyisa olunaku olwaleero motoka ziri wano baziye ziri 3 twakamala ennaku zizino olwaleero lwakuna amazima gennyini tukole ki.
During the Friday eviction exercise, a 95-year-old woman, Hadija Najemba, was given more time as her family finds a new home.
Bajajja bange bebasawo waggulu. Kati ebintu mbifulumya mu nyumba sina bwe mbiteeka. Ngenda sula wabweru. Saba Museveni atuyamba atuddiremu. Atuweeyo ezinapangisa.
The RDC Nansana took charge of her security.
Saba mama fina tuyambe. Mama na banja ijo tuyambe tulikubi abana bawe. Mama na banja ijo tuyambe.
Tukirize Katonda kino kyageze. Ate twebaze government okuba nti etaddeyo omukono kati ogw'ekyuma ku bantu abali mu ntobazi. Nze kyensaba ekintu eki bebajje wano mubeere basirikale. Abantu baleme kuddamu kwebudamya kuki. Ate nkiryalinga ekigambo ekyayogeddwa nti gavumenti yegoba wano abantu esenzeewo abantu abaki siwe kiri.
NEMA maintains that the operation to restore the wetlands across the country will continue uninterrupted. On Thursday, President Museveni further re-echoed on the need to conserve the environment and asked all those occupying the wetlands to voluntarily vacate. Susan Naonga reporting for EBC TV.
Now let's try to look at how the PDM is in progress. 1.1 million households have so far received the parish revolving fund in the first year of implementing the parish development model program. This revelation has been made by the local government minister Raphael Majezi, who says that at this rate, all Ugandans will have joined the money economy in the next 5 years.
From its rollout stage to monitoring and evaluation, government has reached the result tracking stage of the parish development model program. According to Minister Majezi, out of the 10,594 parishes in the country, 10,585 parishes have already been capitalized with 150 million shillings each.
Where are we now? The achievement so far, that with the 150 million shillings per parish, by March 30th, we had hit 1.1 million households out of our target of 3.5 million households. And we still have to give out the 50 million for this financial year. When we do that, I want to believe by the time I give another report around July or August, we shall be talking of maybe 1.8 million or 2 million households.
In the last financial year, government distributed 100 million shillings to each parish and 50 million shillings this financial year. At the beginning, government used it to send money to the beneficiaries through local government accounting officers. This is no longer the case after government developed a digital application dubbed Wendy to effectively track these funds.
We've moved in terms of digitalizing this approach so that we make it less costly. we make it easy to manage.
Even with the application in existence, local government leaders are still required to make a follow-up on the utilization of the PDM funds. Amidst the success stories of the program, there are emerging challenges.
There is increased production. I was talking to some of my leaders from Karamoja here as well came in. They are stuck with the maize. Some are stuck with the eggs. We're going to increase productivity. But the question is, the people are beginning to ask is, where is the market?
In his remarks, President Yoweri Museveni advised farmers to ensure that they take advantage of the existing infrastructure.
The PDM, the one we are talking about, which is good you talked about it, because it is part of that transformation. But it is at the lower end of the society. You must link it with the infrastructure, link it with the factories, because if we produce in the PDM, where will the products go?
The UN resident coordinator in Uganda, Susan Namondo, has pledged UN's support towards the Parish Development Model Program.
From the UN side, that I think is worth us thinking as we go forward in our implementation of this agenda. And of course, we all have only 6 years. Of course, all countries live beyond that. But as regards the 2030 agenda, we have only 6 years to show the world what we've been able to do.
Diano Olwen Peters, UBC News in Kampala.
As a testament to his enduring leadership and the achievements realized under his tenure, Ugandans are organizing a grand function to honor President Yoweri Museveni. The event, anticipated to draw significant participation from across the nation, will highlight various facets of the president's contribution to the country's development and well-being.
The upcoming celebration will not only focus on President Museveni's achievements, but also offer citizens a chance to express their gratitude in tangible ways.
That the people of Uganda appreciate our past, we know our present, and we want to appreciate where we are going. And the person who has helped us understand our past and be able to appreciate where we are is President Yoweri Museveni.
Hey, Museveni, oye! Oye!
It is the reason we have come out strongly to say, let us celebrate our man. Let us celebrate President Yoweri Museveni. Let us, from at least for one day, say thank you to him, and he gets to appreciate that Ugandans probably see what I have been able to do.
Oye! Oye!
Notably, a blood donation drive will be part of the festivities, underscoring the community spirit and the collective effort to support national health needs.
And I can assure you, if it wasn't for General Yoweri Museveni, some of us would not be wearing these clinical coats. Today you're seeing me wearing a clinical coat with my name, Dr. Ledo Samuel Odong, surgeon, because General Yoweri Museveni supported over 4,000. He doesn't know any of them. And we are saying on that day, because of the love he showed by training us, many have come from villages. We had no hope. We were bright kids, but we had no hope. This man single-handedly picked every one of us. And we are saying, in Ikololo on 5th, we are treating all Ugandans for free. A free medical camp.
The director in NRM Mobilization, Rosemary Seninde, emphasized that the event will be a day of joy, unity and patriotism, bringing together people from all walks of life to celebrate their leader.
Many Ugandans have expressed their desire to give presents to His Excellency the President. And we hope there will be a session for those Ugandans who want to contribute or to give, to show their love to His Excellency by presenting gifts. There will be time for that.
The event will showcase a range of achievements under President Museveni's leadership, from infrastructure developments to advancements in education and healthcare. Attendees will learn about the significant strides made in building roads and other critical infrastructure, which have facilitated economic growth and improved connectivity across the country.
And these include democracy and good governance. President Museveni has enabled Uganda to have the freedom to choose their own leaders, and we cannot take that for granted. Uganda, in our past, we have seen other presidents where this opportunity was never there. So we cannot take that for granted. He has also helped Uganda to have a professional and disciplined armed forces that have kept have defended the country, given us peace and security.
The highlight of the day will be an address by President Museveni himself. So that Kaye, UBC News.
Now, President Museveni has fulfilled his pledge of 20 new motorcycles to border associations in Kumba Parish, Wakiso District. The motorcycles were delivered by the State House Comptroller Jen Bariche in a colorful ceremony held in Bendebere village, Nkumba.
The 20 new motorcycles were to the beneficiaries of the two associations, 10 motorcycles from Nkumba Bufulu NRM Mobilizers Border Association and 10 for Quarter Guard NRM Mobilizers Border Association at a colorful ceremony held in Bendebere village, Nkumba Parish in Wakiso District. Bareche urged the beneficiaries to use the bikes to uplift their households and strengthen community bonds because the motorcycles are tools for prosperity.
It is a fulfillment of a presidential pledge to two groups, border groups. The mission of this donation is to help the youth fight poverty, how they can use these borders to get themselves out of poverty.
Major Emmanuel Kutesa hailed President Museveni's initiative, stating this support empowers youth against poverty.
Katimba saba mubera besimbu mubera bempisa ate mwagali muzenyi.
Local leader John Muhire praised President Museveni's empowerment that has transformed lives here, fostering unity and financial stability.
And they can save, they can really even improve their household income. So I'm really thankful that His Excellency, the President of Uganda. Thank you so much. Sema President Nkumba Ufuru NRM Mobilizers Association. They have really been struggling. One, lacking the city capital to move on, but at least now they have been empowered with 10 motorbikes, which is going to move for them a farm mileage, and even their income also going to be the same, raising.
Both association chairpersons expressed gratitude, promising to utilize the motorcycles to uplift families and communities.
We are so happy and we take thanks to him. Now, I emphasize those all people in Uganda. Be patient. President is ready to do for us, and he's there making Ugandans happy.
Got these borders from our president, Yoweri Museveni. So it's going to improve us from the poverty.
Bareche further pledged to support the women's groups in the area that are engaged in productive enterprises like poultry farming, zero grazing for milk, piggery and mushroom growing to boost their production that will in turn improve their household incomes. Brian Tumwenebiaruhanga, UBC News.
Now to do with the CEO Summit, the 2024 Prudential Sustainability Forum organized by Prudential Uganda in partnership with CEO Summit Uganda took place on Friday. The forum, under the theme Fostering Sustainable Practices for Health, Finance and Business Growth, brought together leaders and experts to discuss vital issues impacting these sectors.
The event focused on promoting sustainable practices within health, finance and business sectors, aligning with one of Prudential Uganda's key sustainability pillars, providing simple, accessible health and financial protection.
Inculcating sustainable practices. How can you manage yourself sustainably? And we all know what's the easiest definition of sustainability? Taking care of the needs of today without affecting the needs of those who will come after us. However, we also culminated into the remarks that I made about the cry being made by the earth. The earth is crying. The earth is telling us we're not looking after it. We are depleting. Dr. Peter Chimbowa, the keynote speaker, spoke about the lungs the lungs of the earth. What are the lungs of the earth? Trees are the lungs of the earth. So what are we doing about planting trees?
Throughout the day, participants engaged in thorough leadership sessions aimed at fostering dialogue and inspiring actionable strategies.
As you can see, the biodiversity loss and degradation is quite enormous. And this is causing problems. Water levels going up. Lake Victoria, I think, has gone up by 11 or 12 inches. Things are going up. We used to have forest cover of about 8.4 million hectares. Right now we have about 4.2. We have the Congo Basin. Congo Basin is supposed to be the lungs of East Africa. Lungs, we are talking about earth.
On our end, I think that most importantly, we understand that awareness is key in driving this conversation. One of the key statistics put forward by Dr. PK, who spoke, was the fact that about half the forest coverage of Uganda is gone. Now, this is a very beautiful country.
The 2024 Prudential Sustainability Forum has set the stage for future initiatives and collaborations that will contribute to the sustainable development in Uganda.
The Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC, is wholly owned by the government of Uganda and was established to safeguard and promote Uganda's commercial interests in the petroleum sector. UNOC has two subsidiaries, the Uganda Refinery Holding Company, Yoweri, which will hold a 40% stake in the 60,000 barrel per day refinery and manage the development of Kabalega Industrial Park, and the National Pipeline Company Limited, NPC, in charge of pipelines, storage, and downstream business ventures. This subsidiary holds 15% interest in the East African Crude Oil Pipeline, EACOP. EACOP is a 1,445-kilometer long pipeline that will transport crude oil through 10 districts in Uganda to the port of Tanga in Tanzania. UNOC is also actively engaged in crude oil exploration, development, and production activities, and its participation role includes a 15% stake in the Tilenga, Nwoya, and Bulisa, and Kingfisher development projects, Chikure. UNOC also holds the exploration license for Kasuruban Block in Hoima, Bulisa, and Masindi. UNOC currently owns and manages the Ginger Storage Terminal and will build a 320 million litre capacity terminal in MPG called the Kampala Storage Terminal. At UNOC, we're harnessing the potential of Uganda's petroleum resources, forging a sustainable future and preserving the natural beauty of Uganda. UNOC, your partner in Uganda's oil and gas industry.
Amanya gange nze Namtebi Sharon nga nkolera wano wennyini Saka Kirombe oba Makindye. Empangula gye nawanguddemu ssente mbadde nga nkozesa mobile money nga nsindika school fees w'omwana ku ssomero. Okutegeera nti mpangudde nze mutima neegambye nti kambalinde bamale okujja ndyoke nzikirize nti mpangudde. Kyennyinza okubagamba nti si byabafere weewaawo abafere gye bali naye ennamba eri emu yokka era bw'eba ekukubidde omanye eyo si yabafere. Mpulira bulungi nnyo era ndi musanyufu nnyo. Naye MTN mobile money mbebaza nnyo mwebale nnyo mwebalire.
Together we're unstoppable.
Once upon a time, there lived identical twins who gave birth to beautiful princes and princesses.
Their mothers gave their babies' bodies a lot of care by applying on their skin with baby Junior jelly.
Though dried their chariots and everyone would admire their glowing skin. Fun fact, baby Junior prevents diaper rash, dry and sensitive skin.
Moms all over Africa like baby Junior jelly. Baby Junior the skin. No more worries anymore. Baby Junior.
Baby Junior.
What is a dream? What does it mean to you? To her? To them? It's time we dare to dream anew. Dream bigger, better, bolder. Let's dare to dream of tomorrow, today, of someday. of the hope that comes with change, of a change that transforms lives. That glimmer in your eyes, the prospect of maybe, of all the hopes that we carry. It's the promise of enjoyments, co-enjoyments for you and your mates. A dream keeps us going. It's the one thing that drives us, inspires us, motivates us. One goal, one hope, one dream. With the Uganda National Lottery, your dream can become a reality. Bigger is here. What's your one thing?
Oh, I like to know. Stay fresh. You wanna come preach and be my guest. Lighting. I did make a light to know.
Welcome back from that short break. Now moving ahead, former Archbishop of Gulu Diocese Emeritus John Baptist Odama has lauded President Museveni for his empowerment initiative towards youth and women through the office of the National Chairman. The Archbishop Odama said this during an event held at Pedibe Big Primary School in Luamo District, Acholi region, where Hajat Hadija Namialo donated various empowerment assortments to the youth on behalf of the President.
The office of the National Chairman of the National Resistance Movement, headed by Hajat Hadija Namialo, has been traversing the country, empowering youth and women with the aim to uplift them out of poverty. Former Archbishop of Gulu Diocese, John Baptist Odama, has lauded President Museveni for his initiative that has economically empowered communities.
The government has given now, they are all for enriching us. Let us make the best use of them. I'm grateful for having been invited to be present, and my presence is assurance of God's love for you.
Odama called upon the Acholi people, mainly the youth, to use the prevailing peace and engage in commercial agriculture to generate wealth.
The time now is not for better career. It is time to work. We should work with all our energy.
Dr. Gulu Anthony, Member of Parliament for Padibe constituency, urged the beneficiaries to put into proper use the assortments given to them in order to benefit the community.
Coffee is the highest selling cash crop in the world right now. The President advises we concentrate on coffee. Thank you to His worship.
We will continue to collaborate with your office. We will continue to coordinate. And we are committed to see that Museveni is again on the ballot paper come 2020.
Dr. Gulu, together with the woman representative of Lamo District, Achora Nancy Odonga, tasked Hajat Hadija Namialo to remind the President about the fate of the poor roads in their areas. On behalf of the President, Hajat Hadija Namialo thanked the people of Acholi for supporting President Museveni and assured the community of continuous economic support to get them out of poverty.
We are but it doesn't necessarily mean that we are fighting whoever is there.
Namialo cautioned the youth to avoid engaging in unending political wars, but rather focus on starting up small businesses and engage in commercial agriculture.
For me, I'm here to deliver this stuff, and whoever has helped, I have to mention. I don't care whether it's processing or not. This is for the good of the people of Lamo. You're the poor people.
Various assortments like sewing machines, hose, spray pumps, hair dryers and block laying machines were donated to various youth and women groups. Mary Namkose, Joseph Muyingo, UBC News.
Thank you very much there, Mary Namkose. Now, the government is to support the revamping of technical vocational education and training institutions to enhance skills development and producing graduates who can compete on the labor market. The Minister of State for Youth and Children Affairs, Dr. Balambarugahara, has disclosed this while officiating at the 10th graduation ceremony of Lugogo Vocational Training Institute in Kampala City.
Minister of State for Youth and Children Affairs, Dr. Balambarugahara Atenyi, has reiterated the need for Ugandans, especially the youth, to utilize the available vocational training skills to close employable gaps. This was at a graduation function of Lugogo Vocational Training Institute, where at least 1,876 technicians graduated with certificates in mechanics, plumbing, electrical installation, and carpentry, among others.
Education is a right. Tools to be used in education are a right. So it is our responsibility as government I serve now to ensure we put training, create the training needs, enroll the students, give them the best tools, equip them, and facilitate them to enroll so that they are competitive in the job market.
Bagahara urges graduates to be creative and ethical and utilize the skills acquired for a better future.
And I am optimistic that if you young people embrace this technical and vocational training, we can effectively create jobs and combat criminality in our society. Because once young people are skilled, they will be able to work and earn a living, hence discouraging them from participating in illegal activities for survival.
The principal, Lugogo Vocational Training Institute, Tumuhame Wilson, expressed gratitude towards government and other stakeholders, but calls for more funds to purchase vocational training materials.
Graduates, this day is a result of your hard work and determination. It marks the beginning of your long journey towards your professionalism. Please keep your life safe, for your future is very bright.
The Chairperson Board of Governors, Lugogo Vocational Training Institute, Engineer Winfred Wichira, wants graduates to aim for higher levels and be mindful of some life-damaging habits like alcoholism and drug abuse.
Please note that success is a journey, and this is the start. You need to keep walking this journey because it's full of milestones. Don't stop here at the certificate you're going to get today. Keep challenging yourselves, go for the diplomas, and also higher qualifications.
Henry Muganga compiled this report for UBC News.
What's happening up there?
I've had this cough for more than 2 weeks. I sweat a lot.
Did you get a checkup?
Just cough.
You can easily be TB.
Don't you see the economy?
Yes, anyone can get TB, but the good news is you can live a TB-free life. If you've been coughing for 2 weeks or more, have lost appetite and weight, sweat a lot at night, you could have TB. Visit a health center near you for TB testing and more information on how to prevent and manage it.
How have you gone?
From the doctor come for Yoka.
Obulamu, brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from USAID.
Now into the world of business, the 13th ordinary meeting of the Interstate Council of Ministers of the Central Corridor Transit Transport Facilitation Agency was held in Lubumbashi, Democratic Republic of Congo. The meeting followed a preceding of two-day session of a Central Corridor Board of Directors. Let's hear more from Dennis Sigor.
The meeting commenced with Honorable Marie-Chantal Nijimbere, the outgoing chairperson of the Interstate Council of Ministers of the Central Corridor Transit Transport Facilitation Agency, delivering the opening remarks. Significant progress was noted regarding Malawi and Zambia's accession to the CCTTFA agreement. General Katumba Wamala, Uganda's Minister for Works and Transport, lauded the CCTTFA Secretariat for its efforts in transport services and infrastructure development encompassing maritime, road and standard gauge railway projects.
Uniting Africa. I think that's something he dreams day in, day out. You never finish a speech without talking about the need to unite Africa, to make Africa one.
Advocate Florio Kanju, the Executive Secretary of CCTTFA, emphasized their commitment to transforming economies and lives through enhancing regional transport and logistics.
Kuna matokeo makubwa sana.
A lot has happened in the current financial year. In Mwanza, the MV Umoja project is making significant strides in the maritime sector. Meanwhile, the first phase of the standard gauge railway is nearing completion, making a major milestone in our transport infrastructure. In addition, the port of Dar es Salaam is set for the major improvements following a new agreement between Tanzanian government and DP World to enhance forwards. These initiatives are all aimed at boosting business and trade by improving transport and logistics. As cargo volume increases, we expect job creation, which will undoubtedly enhance livelihoods and stimulate economic growth.
Fursa inaongezeka kwa nchi zote za ushoroba wakati.
As the Central Corridor makes headway in growing regional and continental trade and logistics, business and trade leaders highlight the ongoing dampening effect of geopolitical tensions on intra-regional trade.
We always talk about these issues, but we are very clear that security issues have a major negative impact on business and life if they are not handled correctly. Now, if the countries that are at conflict with each other get to realize that them being friendly with each other actually leads to prosperity, then they will do things differently. If we put ourselves in a position where we are subservient to those conflicts, then we are not leading as a private sector. And that's why we said we've got to lead as a private sector.
Private sector need to take a leading role. You need to be at the forefront in terms of resolving this conflict. We cannot leave it to the politician alone. We need to play our part as a private sector. We need to demonstrate value. The value that whatever you impose, whether you create a barrier, you are penalizing your own people. You are impacting on your own people. So the message has to come out strongly and clear in terms of our engagement with the decision makers, with the politicians, with the policy makers. So it is very, very important.
The Lubumbashi meeting concluded with the handover of the rotating chairmanship of the Interstate Council of Ministers of CCTTFA from Honorable Marie-Chantal Nijimbere of Burundi to Honorable Mark Ekila Likombo of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Both leaders pledged to uphold continued collaboration and development. Dennis Igor for UBC News.
Thank you for that detailed report, Dennis Igor. Still in business, the Presidential Initiative for Wealth Creation in Myoga Sacco is making significant strides in socio-economic empowerment in West Budama Northeast and West Budama North constituencies and Tororo District. Let's hear more in this report.
The Minister for Microfinance, Haruna Cheyune Kasolo, along with a team from the Microfinance Support Center, is in Tororo District to monitor and evaluate implementation and progress of Emyoga enterprises. These enterprises include elected leaders, transportation, food, tailoring, performing arts, produce, market vendors and fisheries. Various women and youth groups formed associations and are now transforming their well-being and increasing household incomes.
That this money has changed our livelihood.
I'm now supporting 36 women who have different businesses.
We bought our power saw. We are now managing our small project.
We are proposing to have our own milling center.
We make tapioca. Tapioca is energizer for men.
Through value addition, the beneficiaries are able to create employment opportunities within the region, fostering economic growth.
To eradicate poverty in the households.
We no longer have domestic violences because women bring money and men bring money in the house.
In West Budama North are very busy with businesses because of the Yoga program.
I educated my boy, my firstborn. The boy did the PCM and he successfully has.
The Minister for Microfinance, Haruna Cheyune-Kasolo, emphasized government's determination to alleviate poverty by providing affordable seed capital for wealth creation. He promised to help the Emyoga SACCOs diversify their products to compete on the global market.
This program, the success is measured on two parameters. One is saving, measure the saving, and two, recovery. I'm very, very happy. And indeed, Myoga program has excelled in this constituency.
Local authorities in the sub-counties of Paya and Chisoko expressed their gratitude to the government, noting that the program is significantly increasing household incomes.
To applaud the NRM government for coming up with the various poverty alleviation programs.
All we now need, as they have been praying, is to strengthen and consolidate the gains of our made.
Let's have a legal framework to guide us on all this socio-economic transformation in our country, to help in operations and management.
The government, through the Microfinance Support Center, will disburse an additional 20 million shillings to all Emyoga SACCOs nationwide with immediate effect.
We shall train people, build their capacity, give them the knowledge to use the money that we have given them, the capital, in order to get out of poverty.
Bella Masangano and Robert Bwaita, UBC News.
That's all we had time for. Always a pleasure. My name is Patricia Lukoma. Gulu Mohammed has been with us on sign language. We will be catching up with you again at 10 o'clock. Stay tuned.
My name is Patricia Lukoma. Thanks for tuning on UBC. My name is Patricia Lukoma with your weather update. We are still having light showers some parts of the country. Nevertheless, there is a reduction in the weather activities, bringing us the domination of sunny intervals. Seeing the satellite picture, we are having a rainbow being retrieved back to the north, hence reducing the moist winds that are coming into our country. And then we are seeing the moist winds that should have come into our country from Congo Yamas being retrieved back also, hence leaving us with dry spells. Tomorrow morning, we expect to wake up to a bright sunny day in our capital city, Kampala, and the nearby areas in the central. And then moving to the east, we are having light showers in the morning hours in parts of Tororo and Jinja, apart from Soroti, where we are seeing sunny intervals. And the western stretch, we are seeing sunny intervals dominating the morning hours. The northern sector, we are seeing sunny intervals in the morning hours, most parts of the north, apart from Arua, where we are seeing light isolated showers in some parts of Arua. In the central Later in the afternoon hours, we are seeing a continuation of sunny intervals at the maximum 30 degrees Celsius across Nakasongola, 29 at capital city Kampala and the nearby areas up to Mubende. The eastern, we are having sunny conditions dominating in the afternoon hours at a maximum 29 degrees Celsius across Jinja and parts of Toro, apart from Sorot where we are seeing 30 degrees Celsius. The western stretch, a continuation of sunny intervals is expected at a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius across Kasese and 30 across Masindi and Imbarara, Kabala Highlands with a 25 degrees Celsius. The northern sector, a continuation of sunny intervals is expected in most parts of the north, from within Karamoja regions at a maximum 31 degrees Celsius across to Chitugumu, 30 degrees Celsius across Gulu and Lila, Arua with a 31 degrees Celsius in the afternoon hours. Moving out of Uganda, 200 few cities across the globe are forecasting sunny intervals within Nairobi at a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius, Dubai with sunny conditions at a maximum of 45 degrees Celsius, and Kyle with sunny conditions at a maximum of 39 degrees Celsius. It's pretty hot in Cairo and Dubai, but London we are seeing a cloudy condition at a maximum of 23 degrees Celsius. Thanks for tuning on UBC. My name is Grace Amili. Stay tuned. See you tomorrow.